Good afternoon, students. Welcome to another English lesson with Timothy Alabi. You're welcome to class. All right, today we want to look at commas, colons, and semicolons. These are very important punctuations that you're expected to use effectively in your writing. So we want to look at how we use each of them. We want to look at the differences between them. All right, these are the lesson objectives. At the end of this lesson, we are all expected to be able to identify the correct punctuation mark to use in different contexts. We should also be able to use these punctuations appropriately in your own writing. All right, so let's continue. We have a starter activity here. Now, it goes this way. First off, in your notes, draw a describing frame. Okay, and in the describing frame, write every word that comes to your mind when it comes to punctuation. Anything that you can think of. You've got 2 minutes to write these words down. Now, after writing them down, share these words or your notes with the partner next to you so that you guys can cross-check. The student with the highest number of words wins the task. Please pause the video so you can check and be sure. Thank you very much. All right, so let's talk about the comma. Commas are very important punctuation, just like we said earlier, because they are useful when it comes to separating items in a list. We also use commas to separate clauses, but the clauses we use commas to separate are dependent clauses. So we use commas to separate dependent clauses, and then we use them to set up introductory words or phrases. Let's look at some examples. All right, so let's look at some examples. Here we said, I need to buy apples, bananas, and oranges at the grocery store. Now we can see that the commas are separating these words of the names. Okay, it's also important to note that there's a comma before the coordinating conjunction and. The reason for the comma is to separate the idea of bananas from oranges. All right, there's another example here. Although it was raining, we decided to go for a walk. Now, the comma here separates these dependent clause or subordinate clause. This is an adverbial clause here, and the comma is separating. Sarah, who is my best friend, is coming over for dinner tonight. So here, we have an extra information here, which this adjectival clause expresses. So we have the comma separating the idea from the main sentence, which is Sarah is coming over for dinner tonight. So commas are very essential in our writing, and we should learn to use them appropriately. All right, so from here we move to the colons, which are equally very important. Now, colons are used to introduce a list, and I think that is the most popular way to use colons, to introduce a list. Sometimes we also use colons to start off an explanation. We use them to give examples or to separate two independent clauses where the second clause explains or summarizes the first. Now, it is important to know that when a colon is used to separate two independent clauses, it must be that the second clause explains the first one or summarizes it. Okay. So this is very important so that we don't mistaken them for semicolons. All right. So these are very good examples here. Here we said, I need to buy 3 things at the store. Then we start off the list with the colon, milk, bread, and eggs. Also, we have another example here. I love to eat healthy foods. Then we have a colon, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. So these are ways that we use colons. Okay. It's important as good writers that we know how to use the colons appropriately. All right, so finally for today's lesson, we look at the semicolons. Okay, the semicolons are used to separate two independent clauses that are closely related. And this is key, and that is why I told us when we're looking at colons that it is important we know that when it comes to separating two independent clauses, because they are closely related and we feel a full stop is not going to do justice to what we're trying to do, or a conjunction a coordinating conjunction would not really pass for what to do across. We must use a semicolon. We should not try to use commas. Most students use commas when it comes to two main clauses, two independent clauses. That is wrong. That offense is called comma splice in English language. So we use semicolons when we don't want to use a coordinating conjunction, or we don't want to use a full stop because of style, perhaps, or because we think that these two sentences or these two main clauses are very related. So use a semicolon to separate them. And then let's look at some examples. This is the first sentence here. We said semicolons are useful. Then you see the semicolon here. They show that clauses are related in meaning. So this one here, they show that clauses are related in meaning is one independent clause, and another independent clause is semicolons are useful. So the semicolon here separates these two main clauses. Alright, so the most important part of this video is here. It is important to note that the first step to becoming an excellent writer is by mastering how to use these seemingly simple punctuations. Okay, this is because they are very pivotal whatever it is you want to do. So it is important you learn how to use them. Okay, good punctuations give your work distinction. Okay, so if you want to make your work distinctive, you have to master how to use punctuations well. All right, so next we've got exercises for you. So please pause the video here and attempt at punctuating this paragraph in your notes. And this one. So you have to punctuate this one as well. All right, please pause the video and take this. Great, I suppose we're done. Okay, here we've got the answer to the first one. So you want to see this. There's a comma here, as you can see. So you mark this. There's a colon here, mark that. Commas, 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 comma, comma, and a full stop here. Okay, then there's another column here. A semicolon, another semicolon, and another one here. Then the final one here before we have the full stop. So please mark, assess, and see how well you've done. This assessment could either be pair or individual. So you might just assess yourself or let a peer assess you. All right, thank you. The second one, this is the answer to the second exercise as well. We've got a full stop here, a semicolon here, and then there should be a full stop here. All right. Okay, so thank you very much for being a part of this lesson, and I'll see you next time.